Hello everyone, James from the Business Next Media speaking. Happy to have you here with us in 2022 Connect to the Future Sport and Textile Industry Roadshow, organized by Business Next and Taiwan External Trade Development Council. The online forum will begin in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our grateful to have you here with us in 2022 Connect to the Future Sport and Textile Industry Roadshow. This is James from the Business Next Media speaking. I will be your host today. According to Global Market Insight, the digital health market worldwide reached over $141 billion in 2020. It is expected to exceed $426 billion in 2027 or 17.4 CAGR in next 5 years. The main drive behind this growth are sport, leisure, and healthcare. With effort in many years, textile industry in Taiwan have successfully enabled more intelligent production process and innovative products. Taiwan have now accounted for 17 of functional textile around the world. The fabric have evolved from a traditional manufacturing industry to a smart, eco-friendly, and high-tech industry. Vendors in Taiwan have not only expanded globally, but also lead the world. And when we face to the critical moment of the outbreak of business opportunities, how should the industry be laid out? And how should we grasp the key advantage and application of business opportunities? The digital age have long focused on latest trend in global and local front-end technology, digital development, and industrial applications. It is our great honor to invite 3 industry leaders from different perspectives to share their views. Sport and Textile Industry Roadshow will highlight the latest trend in smart sport. Practical experience and insight will look into business opportunities and applications. We invite you to reshape business with us. Then, welcome the first speaker, Ben Wild, the Training and Education Global Director of Johnson Health Technology, one of the largest giants in Asia, to share with us pioneer in smart sports and connected fitness opportunities. Let's welcome Ben.
So we're delighted to share a few ideas around some of the key milestones in what we call smart sports and some of the potential growth opportunities around connected fitness. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ben Wild. I'm the Global Director of Training and Education for Johnson Health Tech, and our commercial brand is Matrix, which you may see in 1 or 2 of the images coming up. For context, it's important to recognize that we've moved a long, long way from a previous offering in fitness, which was essentially focused around health clubs, to a much more integrated space, which in essence puts the user at the center of a range of tools and a range of experiences. That's the exciting opportunity. When we look at what we could do even better, the opportunity is around integrating more and more of these components, which you see on the right-hand side of your screen. We also have 1 or 2 of our own technology-oriented solutions, one of which we call Community 360, which is our predominant app-based solution, allowing us to reach out to people even more effectively. And with the add-on of Engage 360, we facilitate programming both within a facility and outside. But I promise that's the only advertisement of our products that we're going to share during this session. It is true to say that the global pandemic has accelerated the digital fitness offerings which are available to end users, what we might call members or exercisers. And that's a great opportunity. However, some of the bigger ambitions that people were predicting at the onset of the pandemic may or may not have come to fruition. So they may also represent some of the blue ocean opportunities available for us. Again, for context, as we look at this, to be clear, my background is actually initially in exercise physiology. So I like to say I learned everything really from the neck down. I then qualified to teach and lecture, but subsequently, all of my postgraduate research and interest has been in around this application of psychology, if you will, this marriage of psychology and physiology. However, I want to declare this, and this is a learning I've come to in the last 5 or 6 years. It seems to be true that psychology trumps or is more important than physiology when it comes to effectively changing. So we're going to explore that a little bit, but it might make sense of some of the references which I'm going to share in this short session. And to begin with, I'm going to quote from quite a famous psychologist, Jonathan Haidt, from his wonderful book, The Happiness Hypothesis. And he presents our two sides of our decision-making, if you will, our emotional and our rational, what we might conceive of as our head, our rational, and our heart or our gut, our more emotional response. And he has this lovely analogy that actually the rational is like the rider on an elephant. The rider on the elephant thinks that he or she is in control, when in reality, the emotional elephant, if there's ever a conflict between the two, is clearly going to win in any debate. And that's kind of interesting. So it means emotions drive our behaviors far more effectively and far more consistently than our rationality. Why am I sharing this? Because when it comes to a substantial number of our digital offerings, it seems that we're predominantly driving information and ideas around the rational without perhaps fully understanding that the emotional context is far, far more significant. So I'm leaning heavily on lots of researchers' work. There is a lot of science around behavior change in general, and more specifically in health behavior change. And Andy Prestwich is a researcher and lecturer out of Leeds University in the UK, has this fabulous book. If you're looking for a reference and a way in to the concepts and ideas, or some of them that I'm going to share now, this might be a great starting point. So we're exploring what helps people change, and can digital play a part? To be clear, I really think it can, but that's just an opinion. So in this quote here from Kelly in 2006, so it's a little while ago, but essentially what they're warning us is we do well to understand the complexities around behavior change. So we know that the beautiful thing about digital is the opportunity to scale quickly and easily. However, the manner in which those communications are shared can make or break the impact. Literally, in some instances, people will respond in completely the opposite way that the guidance recommends. And we can thank Jack W. Brem, the originator of the concept of psychological reactance theory back in 1966, for our understanding in that arena. So it is clear that certainly post-pandemic, if we get there, or as a consequence of the global pandemic, more and more people have declared an interest in developing and or maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And there were some of these quotes at the beginning, as I mentioned, around big, bold predictions about changes to our industry, and actually more broadly, changes to you and me in how we're going to access and how much we're going to access our health and fitness opportunities. However, we need to ask ourselves, is that really the case? Hence the question mark here as we look through. One of those challenges, if you will, is around, we used to conceive of exercise in a health club, as we said, that was the center of access to health and fitness, predominantly for a number of people. And it was often positioned as health club or health facilities versus home. And I think we do well as a consequence of recent times to conceive of it actually as both. So often now we hear this phrase zero sum, meaning it's either or. This is not one of those zero sum opportunities. In actual fact, if we look at penetration rates, so that means as a percentage of the population, how many of those people are going to health and fitness facilities? The highest numbers in the 20s, and more typically in developing regions, we're seeing 3, 4, 5% or less. It seems like a decent working number is around about 10 to 15% of a given population will access the current offering of health and fitness facilities. And when we dig a little bit deeper into those data, we see usage rates varying between 1.2 and around 1.8 visits per week. Either way, it's less than 2 visits from an average, we know that's just an average, from an average user, in which case, how quickly and how effectively is accessing a typical fitness facility less than twice a week going to help an individual achieve their goals, whether that's health, whether that's shape, whether it's a combination of the two, whether it's fitness goals and sports goals. If we're only accessing those opportunities less than twice a week, then the likelihood is we're going to be affecting low or indeed no significant change. Now, that's not to say there's not great opportunity there, because we can use that as an opportunity to develop the capacity to perform outside and an understanding of my choices. And that's really how I'd like us to consider this. So we talk now quite often, unfortunately, about this term hybrid, a combination of exercise at home or indeed outside alongside accessing more traditional fitness facilities. And I guess we can throw this third element in now, which are the myriad of digital offerings. And I'm showing you the Johnson @Mirror solution, but there are lots of others. So around the outside of these three areas on your screen, I'm really presenting what I feel are the opportunities for us to do even better in any of those formats. So whether it's exercising at home or outside, or using some digital technologies to help me with that, or indeed a more traditional fitness offering, then access to accurate information married to or combined with positive reinforcement, support, social engagement with others, and real coaching may in fact help us make users or encourage users to access the range of options more than less than twice a week, which will help us achieve our goals. And also, maybe that's part of the compelling offering. We'll talk about choice a little bit more coming up. So let's think about what we're trying to achieve. And from an exercise physiology perspective, we typically talk about these 4 components of physical activity or physical fitness, physical capability. It's all essentially the same thing. We talk about cardiovascular fitness, which is how well our heart delivers oxygen to our working muscles. It's a key component in fitness. It also happens to help in weight loss, although some people debate that. It definitely helps. There's some opportunities to increase our strength and indeed our power, and as a consequence, our speed of movement. That may have some more athletic or sports-oriented applications. And then there's balance and flexibility. And I don't diminish those, but quite often the balance and flexibility components, if you like, facilitate and support training and activity. So all are important. They may require different frequencies throughout the week to maintain or improve. For instance, if we're looking at cardiovascular targets or general physical activity, then in order for us to sustain health, we know the data is pretty solid that we need to achieve around 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity, which means we can do it and still talk, albeit being slightly out of breath sometimes. But if we increase the intensity to vigorous, then we can effectively divide that time target by 2. So if we're exercising at a higher intensity, we only need to be hitting around 75 minutes. So we can obviously do a combination of the two. And just a working rule of thumb here, if I do one high intensity workout for 20 minutes, I could, if it's in that vigorous or higher intensity, then I could conceive of that as counting of 40 minutes against that 150-minute target. So we can count as double in effect if the intensity is vigorous. For strength training, typical targets around twice per week, maybe 2 to 3, depending on my goals. Similarly, we can see improvements in balance with that kind of frequency. And flexibility actually ranges all the way from 1 to multiple flexibility sessions. Typically, we target 2 or 3 in both of those balance and flexibility categories. But of course, we can combine some of those activities together. The challenge is, are we actually achieving it? And if we are, what's helping us do that? So technology can definitely help. And I want to give one real example in this arena related to those targets, if it helps. So in a really good study that included 122 different countries in a self-reported survey saying, how active are you? And are you achieving that 150-minute threshold in your physical activity per week? And in this self-reported response, we saw an awful lot of people were telling us, yeah, we meet that goal, right? 8 or 9 out of 10, somewhere between the two, of people were telling us, yeah, I meet that threshold. However, when we add the technology of objective accelerometry, which is actually checking how much did we really move, then there's a slightly deceptive element to what people say they do and what they actually do. So technology can help us here. And in this instance, instead of 69% of people being active in that study, only 4% of people were sufficiently active to meet the 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. So from 69% down to 4%, that's a huge drop off, right? So technology has a real role to play. Now, some of us are saying from a sort of scientific, logical, head-based perspective, well, we just need to tell more people what they're doing. And the reason I referenced those quotes at the beginning is to give us pause. If we're thinking about the application of digital, it's absolutely true that only accelerometry and the results according to that derive real physical and health benefits. Self-reported data is so frequently flawed and so significantly flawed that it's a very, very limited use. And this is a different study that shows essentially the same thing. However, before we go sharing all these data with people telling them they're not doing enough, we do well to consider this concept called negativity bias. And I first came across this actually in an interview that John Mackey, the founder of Whole Foods, was giving. And he told this great story that he used to go around and visit. For those of you who don't know, he's the founder of the Whole Foods stores where you can buy organic food in healthy variants. And he told the story about how he used to visit his stores. And he might have 20 things that he was really happy with, but 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 that he wanted to see changed. And he, in his recollection, realized that if he shared those 1, 2, or 3 negatives or things he wanted to do differently in the future, that all his team focused on were those 1, 2, or 3 negatives. That's the negativity bias. Now, we all have a tendency toward that. The magnitude will vary, but that's important. That means if we're sharing data, if we're providing feedback, even if it's really accurate, if it's perceived as critical by the recipient, then we often will respond negatively toward that. So if you give me information about me failing to meet a certain standard or level that I thought I was, is that going to motivate me? Well, for some people it is, but for a lot of people, that's going to be disappointing news. And in the context of negativity bias, a lot of us want to avoid further negativity bias. So we'll simply stop going. We'll simply switch off the app or stop using the technology. And there's a real important construct for us to consider as we share data. How are we sharing data? How are we sharing information? And we'll get to some of that in a tick. We have lots of opportunities with technology. My apologies, this is the second advertisement in this session, I think the last one. And yeah, we have some technology that can give us that kind of feedback on, is our posture correct? Are we performing those movements in an effective generally perceived to be ideal manner. Yeah, we can give you those data. However, there are individual differences, both in physical capacity, but in this context, individual differences in how people will respond to that feedback. So I want to share some fabulous work by Richard Ryan and Ed Deci, who wrote this book shown on your screen called Self-Determination Theory. And they talk, I'm summarizing an awful lot of very effective scientific research. But to summarize that in one slide in a few moments, really, they show that if we want to support change, in essence, if we can increase choice, what they call autonomy, meaning it's my choice, not yours, I make my own choices. If we increase that choice, then we sidestep some of the pitfalls. We sidestep some of the downsides of giving information because we allow people to choose what they do with it. And as a consequence, we might see increased adoption and increased adherence. So that's one of my most important messages here. If I'm looking at the future of digital, instead of simply sharing data at scale and telling people what that data is and perhaps what they should do, we might be far more effective to share that data, but then lay out choices and options which people can select from in order to maximally support activity, physical activity and exercise adoption, and the adherence, the continuation of those new behaviors. So to be clear, choice is one of our key components. And I think in our rush or in the range of digital offerings, sometimes we miss this. We know that we can apply it at scale, but we perhaps miss the complications created by presenting these ideas and indeed this information as choice. So I'd like to perhaps consider as my key point in this stage, reconfiguring the information, the data we share, instead of telling people what to do, allowing people instead to make informed choices. And I really think that's a future direction of technology, digital technology and data that will really help us effect behavior change. So one other concept here that may seem a little odd is there's a fabulous model. It's called the Challenge Support Model, developed by Nevitt Sanford back in 1962. So it's been around a long time. In essence, it simply says, if we want growth, we could conceive of growth as change. If we want growth, then when the challenge is high, we do best to match that high challenge with high support. So when we think of that, high challenge, what's high challenge? Well, in essence, my message is anything that is new represents high challenge. So any new behaviors, any new concepts, any new activities potentially represents high challenge. We do well to minimize that challenge appropriately, still achieving sufficient developments and steps to move towards my goals. But I guess the onus and the opportunity on the digital and indeed the in-person opportunity is to provide even more support. And my analogy here is actually, if we want to provide real support, then we want to be like this dad here in the screen showing the blue t-shirt, supporting what seems to be his daughter in learning to ride a bike. And if we think about our own personal experience there, who was it? Could have been dad, could have been mum, could have been big brother or uncle, auntie. Some significant other helped us learn to ride a bike. And what did they do? They held onto the back as we wobbled without stabilizers, without training wheels on the bike. And indeed, they let go for a little while and saw how we got on, and then they held on again. And if we did fall down, what did they do? They picked us back up and they encouraged us. They told us we could do this, we would learn, we just had to persist. I think actually, if we really think about how impactful that was for us when we learned to ride a bike at whatever age, then that's a great example of how real support can really help, particularly address the challenge and the challenge of new. So we can also look at exercise intensities, and we know there's an industry trend of high intensity intervals that's absolutely appropriate in terms of maximizing results and maximizing the speed at which we achieve results. However, for at least some of us, there is an inverse relationship between exercise intensity and our enjoyment, meaning the harder it gets, the less we enjoy it. And there's lots of research out there to support this, not least of which is the fabulous research by a researcher called Panteleimon Ekikakis, who's looked at this at length and really was the first researcher I saw who married exercise intensity with psychological affect, which is just, did we feel good and want to do it again, or did we not? And he really showed this, that for lower intensity exercises, almost everybody reported what he calls positive affect, pleasure, enjoyment. They were more inclined to do it again. Around the lactate threshold, which is close to a level whereby if we go any faster, we're going to have to stop or slow down, then around that maximal intensity or maximal sustainable intensity, if you will, the responses were very varied. And this is just my opinion. I actually think that people responded based on their fitness levels. You probably like that if you're already fit. You probably don't like it if you're not. That's just an opinion. That's not what the research showed at this stage. But one thing is clear, that when the intensity went to maximal or beyond maximal, almost everybody did not like it or want to continue it. And in fact, the researchers in one of these studies suggested that 95% of people report negative affect. They didn't like it or want to continue. And they actually suggested that the 5% who reported it may just have been saying that due to peer pressure or wanting to appear enthusiastic. That's fascinating. So when the exercise intensity is at maximal or above it, meaning I'm going to have to stop, almost all of us don't want to do that again. Kind of logical. But I think we do well in our digital programming and our in-person programming, and the combination of the two to bear exercise intensity in mind as we look at this. So I've detailed 6 key considerations, which I think we've touched on a little bit in the detail we've shared. So we do well to think about allowing people to make informed decisions and choices. We do well to think about what capabilities individuals have. We didn't really touch on that at this stage. Fairly logical though, so we need to think about that as part of our digital and in-person fitness offerings. And we can think about the whole range and integrating the whole range of fitness and health activities. And of course, the beautiful opportunity around digital is the capability to track and monitor that with minimal effort, or what's sometimes called frictionless data capture. Again, based on that, if we do our best, we can use those data gathered to create guidance and ideas that are even more personalized around choices, which should ultimately help us achieve this 4th component of enjoyment, or perhaps for new exercises worth considering, least disliking. So I just have 3 more considerations around what we shared. We offer more choices, which develops a sense of autonomy, a sense of I'm in control. We present and encourage activity tracking, because that's the information that we can use to show our success, but also understand, do we need to move on? Do we need to recover? And recovery is a whole other area that I think technology will help us explore as well. And lastly, we might want to consider the benefits of at least a combination of exercise intensities matched to individual preference. Do you like it? And if you like it, are you more likely to continue it? So some combination of, can they do it? And even if they can, do they enjoy it? Yes, no. And an exploration of that. So again, we have this kind of hybrid range of options, including digital. There is huge opportunity in the areas around those 3 options shown on your screen around providing information, real reinforcement coaching, social support, and again, that social engagement component. So I hope this has been useful and raised a couple of interesting ideas and opportunities for the future of digital. Certainly we're looking at it, but there's an even bigger impact available to us to help each individual person on their health and/or fitness journey. My name's Ben Wild. Here are my contact details. If you're interested in any of this, then we'd love to have further conversations with you. Feel free to reach out via email. And for those of you who are interested, last point, I do have the references here, and you may want to pause and review those. And there are some additional references here. Okay, we wish you every success and thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you, Ben, for your sharing. Next, let's invite Kai-Yun Chen, Chief Marketing Officer of Wondersize, a fitness live broadcast platform, to share with us AI data monitoring drive home-based fitness innovation. Let's welcome Kai-Yun.
Hi everyone, my name is Pollyanna. I'm the CMO of Wondersize, in charge of branding, marketing, PR, as well as business development and growth. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to share our journey and hopefully answer some of the questions you guys might have. I'll try to keep things light and start with the changes and dynamics in the fitness industry in recent years, what to expect in the short and long run, and what Wondersize has been doing. Lastly, my 2 cents on how brands and business in the fitness technology industry should adapt and prepare for the future. The pandemic caught a lot of us off guard. We've all had to take a step back to think about how to adapt and innovate in order to survive. For some industries, this sparked new ideas and business models. The wellness industry was valued at $4.2 trillion in 2021, with year-over-year growth rates between 5 to 10% in the past 5 years. This means $600 billion in just consumption alone. The graph on the left shows the kind of wellness products and related services people spend most on, and it shows an increase in self-awareness when it comes to our well-being. On top of that, the increase in per capita income allows more room for sales growth in the industry, opening new doors for opportunities. We know that online workouts have always been a popular choice for at-home fitness, but what's new is the space for smart wearables. In addition to becoming more self-aware of our own well-being, we're also relying on quantifiable information and data to monitor ourselves. So by combining wearables to services like Wondersize with motion sensing tech, we get to understand more about our workouts, physical condition, and how we can adjust our routines to be more effective. The impact of the coronavirus created a new realm of demands, which also means opportunities for new things. As a result, new business models and services have emerged to provide users with more options and value-added services to enhance the overall user experience. What you thought was only achievable in person can now be done remotely. From self-mindfulness and physical rehab to facial relaxation, new fitness tech innovation contributes largely to the growth of the industry. It's also important to take a look at the eminent surge of investment going into this industry. This shows that the total funding averaged over $3 billion. By the third quarter of 2021, the number went up to $8.3 billion and it was estimated to have soared to $12 billion, a number that greatly overshadowed the industry peak in 2018. As a whole, while the number of investment rounds has declined in the past 5 years, the number of money investors have put into sport technology alone has actually increased to 30% of the total amount of funding at all sectors. This sector also expects a market share growth rate of about 18% from 2021 to 2026, which is the highest of all sectors. This is huge. And this is also reflected here in Taiwan. The wellness and fitness technology industry is ranked as the most in demand, and we've seen a lot of growth. A total of nearly $1.7 billion have gone into the industry between 2015 to Q1 of 2022. Zooming in a bit on Taiwan, the fitness industry was valued at $375 million in 2021. There are over 700,000 people with gym memberships. And with the rise of people working out at home, hundreds of new brands emerge in the sector every year to meet the demands. Despite the level 3 lockdown in last year, when many conventional gyms struggled to stay afloat, we still saw growth in the fitness business and transition online, embrace new technology. 8% of the population took part in sports-related activities in 2021, and the number of people who keep some sorts of exercise routine is about 33% of the population. This number has remained the same for more than 8 years and actually went up by 1% in the past year. A big part of this is due to the increase in the female population that works out at home. So why move things online? To start, it's cheaper, more effective with the right discipline, of course, convenient and more accessible. Most of these people are light to medium users who want to look better in the mirror. By using fitness apps, diverse content, the engagement tools, they learn more about their bodies and become more self-aware of how to reach their fitness goals. The pandemic gave this market a chance for a growth spurt and has turned it into a major penetration point in the overall wellness industry. So let's dig a little deeper into what this means for the fitness industry and what's really going on now. I'll begin by breaking it down into 3 different approaches: field application, innovation, and cross-industry collaborations. This holistic overview allows us to learn from different user groups and profiles to find even more new opportunities for the growth. The first approach is field application and conventional gyms. An example is the global brand World Gym's partnership with Johnson Health Tech to provide online courses to its members. Louisa Coffee, a Taiwanese coffee house chain company, offers fitness center in conjunction with some of its store locations. Conventional gyms and private studios have also started to bring their content online. The second approach is innovation. This one is largely contributed by technology. There are a lot of great workout apps with content, and some have motion tracking technology. Most of the ones on the market rely on visual sensing technology to track users' movements, which then give the evaluation and analyzed. All the information is being fed to the system. By combining big data and AI tech, the user's biological and training performance become more comprehensively understood. In the long run, you'll be able to understand and learn how you really are, what you need to work on, and how you can adjust your routine to reach your goals. It's a more effective and impactful way. Last but not least, cross-industry collaborations. With the help of new innovations, the fitness industry is given a whole new set of possibilities, going beyond and into other industries. The data that can be acquired and observed is so powerful that it seeps into many sectors. Some examples include incentive insurance programs with an Apple Watch and biological and physical checkups paired with what we like to call fitness prescriptions to promote activities and healthier lifestyles. New approaches also meant new business model, and here are just a few names that have seen successful in the new era. We've all heard of Peloton and Tonal, known for their hardware and subscription-based services. Other trending services include apps with wellness monitoring tools like Hoop, Aura Rings, both requiring hardware and the subscription-based app services. GymPass is an example for O2O fitness and wellness platform with a to-be model. The pandemic was a wake-up call for us. We began to realize that we need to be more proactive in taking care of ourselves, and the industry needs to provide more options to accommodate this demand. Lockdown have forced people to stay home, and ways to stay active in your own living room become crucial to everyday life. Wondersize currently offers subscription-based services, a vertical of original hardware such as a spin bike and wearables, corporate fitness programs, and wellness programs, as we're also working on on-site services and expanding our reach of applications. Typically, traffic drives profit, but for Wondersize, we believe in using traffic as an added value that is beneficial to all parties, from coaches and brands, as well as a channel for self-promotion of our up-and-coming on-site space, which I'll explain in more detail later on. Maximizing our potential in our verticals and working with others in the industry is vital to success as well as overall growth in the sector. Wondersize also strives to provide value for cross-industry models with data that we can acquire, such as telecom and insurance companies. Contrary to most beliefs, Wondersize was not a byproduct of the pandemic. The idea started in 2015, and Wondersize officially registered as a business entity in 2018 after years of research and development. In a nutshell, Wondersize is supported by 4 main pillars: our core tech live motion matching, an abundance of on-demand content, interactive live-streamed courses, and our in-app social media platform. Wondersize may not sound familiar to most of you, but our parent company WonderCore surely rings a bell. With a track record for over 10 million units of at-home fitness equipment sold worldwide in over 80 countries and an authorized distributor of Adidas and Reebok in the Taiwan area, WonderCore's achievement laid the groundwork for Wondersize. What started as a spin-off project of WonderCore, Wondersize took off with a focus on fitness and technology integration. We're an all-in-one solution that provides a comprehensive fitness solution. Wondersize has what you need along your journey to a healthier you. There are two roles in our app, trainees and trainers. Not only are we targeting users to build adaptive fitness routines, but we're also promoting trainers who we partner with and provide tools for them to expand their reach on a global scale. This slide shows what app look like in use. We can see that aside from live stream coaching, a multi-way video chat, you also get your live motion matching score. Small but powerful functions enhance user engagement and elevate the overall experience. Aside from software development, we also created our own smart hardware, from tracker bands, spin bike, and BMI scales, all to help you make sure you're always on track. There have always been many options, wide diversity of fitness resources, but what does Wondersize bring on the table? What we offer is a complete set of tools for different roles, from gym business owners to trainers and trainees. We are trying to prove that with Wondersize, there is no limit to when, where, and how one's fitness regime can be carried out. We're talking about space, content, and being able to take classes from different time zones, all the while staying very connected with the Wondersize community. Wondersize is not out to make enemies, but rather, we want to be able to help others within the industry and to expand their reach and maximize their potential. With the Wondersize system, gym owners can diversify their services and offer their members more options. Trainers and coaches around the world can also expand their clientele with the Wondersize platform, while trainees receive tailored and personalized guidance during every session with the help of our live motion matching technology. We can help fitness business lower costs while providing them with more content to satisfy the target market. This is also something our next line of the project will aim to do as an all-in-one one-step fitness solution. As I've teased a couple of times, we will be launching a new space that allows fluid transitions between remote and on-site users to come together in a coexisting dimensions by way of their mobile devices. This might sound a bit confusing, but let me take a step back. Last year, we saw many gyms and fitness centers close down as a result of pandemic. While many could not recover from this, why are we talking about opening a gym? Wondersize is a means to stay aware of your training performance more precisely and trackable via live motion matching, with real-time engagement with fellow trainees and trainers. However, there's still something about working out with others side by side that just cannot be replaced. Wondersize Gym is about giving our users more options, making sure that there are always something for everybody. We will be implementing an OMO model to all our services. The idea behind Wondersize Gym is to build a dimension that brings online and offline energies to the same space. Personalized workout data feedback and high interactiveness via live motion matching and supported wearables, and global trainers are all things that can be experienced whether at home or at one of our Wondersize Gym locations. These data will all be synced and updated in real time. A fluid transition between online and offline space, jumping through different dimensions to meet the user's needs and schedules. In the future, we'll also offer franchise and co-branding opportunities to add value to other brands and services. New trends and workout fads come out every day, and creative ways to promote activities such as exercise to earn are also encouraged by local governments and the industry to raise self-awareness to and preventative care. How these are carried out, the tools and platform people need, this is what Wondersize is preparing for, to meet and help execute these demands. I've talked a lot about what we do, but I want to bring your attention to what runs these innovations and our thought process, the key to all our solutions. Wondersize's wheel of motion is built on drive and momentum. It takes a while to build up speed, but once we get there, the momentum takes us through and fast-track the process to reach growth target. The wheel is a thought process cycle that revolves around user experience and utilizing assets and inputs such as our tech and development, user data, content, and field application. These elements help grease the wheel and ensure it's always spinning and building speed along the way. The fuel is our technology and data application, as well as the content. Matured algorithm powered by AI and big data open doors to more applications, which means more options for users. Traffic can be increased, creating traction, building user relationships and trust, as well as continually updating with new and trending content. We begin to build adhesion. Once we gain the sort of momentum, we'll begin to see growth. This also means constantly revising our design and making adjustments as we learn more and more about our users on the market. From trainers and field applications to within the cross-industry partnerships, we need to always think about what more we can bring to the game and how we can keep users engaged. We retain users and traffic by delivering personalized services and unique experience, discovering and analyzing user profiles by studying the stats and data we acquire. It's all written and shown in the numbers, the key to making this work and building a successful brand. Lastly, I want to share what we see as the future of fitness technology and what Wondersize is after. How to get positive results while staying motivated is very important and challenging for most of us. By leveraging our resources and technology in creative ways, we add elements of entertainment and leisure to something that may feel dreadful. However, fitness advocates or those who are looking for something more advanced can rely on technology to break things down for them to understand how to train, perform, and even recover better. Sports tech is going global, and we can see it in all corners of the globe. Putting together the different technologies and methodologies, we provide different application options will help discover newfound values in business models. Something that we've been witnessing in the post-pandemic era is the way technology is helping business digitalize. From realizing the importance of databases, the technology implementation, to new business models and precision marketing. All these efforts are in hopes of comprehensive integration of all things necessary to produce meaningful data analysis, build a foundation for the industry, accelerate growth, and to provide immersive user experiences and services. In return, building industrial resilience. To sum things up, the future of sport tech is bright and the sky is the limit. It's safe to say that technology will continue to play an important role in the way we stay healthy. Other trends we may expect to see in the future include more types of online workout programs, wearables, VR and AR, and AI-driven advancements. That being said, Wondersize strives to maintain a fitness solution brand that is sustainable, affordable, adaptable, and accessible while delivering high-quality content, services, and unique user experience. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai-Yun, for your sharing. Next, let's invite Nadia Kang, Chief Marketing Officer of IQ Smart Clothing, the leader in the perfect combination of wearable technology and smart textile. She will share with us home-based fitness is social with elevate styles. Welcome, Nadia.
Hi. Hello, everybody. This is Nadia Kang from IQ Smart Clothing. I'm more than happy to come here to share the product and market information for smart textile technology with you. IQ actually set up things about 2009. We are one of the subsidiary company for my parent company, Textile Industry. Actually, Textile is a very big company. We have 8,000 people all the world. Huge production capacity in the world. And so we started as a BU, as a Textile, okay? After 3 years, we spun off as an independent company. One of the major reasons why IQ can get into the smart textile business, because we also have a very important subsidiary in our group, King's Metal Fiber. So later I will explain what is the connection between the smart textile and the e-textile, and also the smart clothing. Okay. So now I'm going to here. I'm going to I'm going to have the 4 parts today. So the first part is I want to introduce what is smart clothing. So actually, when in the past years, and I have a lot of chance to go to the market and the different show and also conference. So most of the new customer will come to me, "Hi Nadia, what is the smart textile? What is the smart clothing? How smart you are?" So this is the big question, you know. Back to 10 years ago, it's a little critical and difficult to explain, you know, this kind of things in a few words. But now I'm more than happy to share you what is this. So now I'm starting to share information. The first chapter is what is the smart textile? What is the smart clothing? So before we started, I think most important, I think all the product, all the technology start from human. So the first chapter I want to say is what is the connection between smart textile and the human? So it will be start from the human sensing network. Okay, so actually the human body is so amazing. You know, there are so many different bio features in your body. So for example, you have a heart rate, you have ECG, you have the brain wave, we call it EEG. You also have the blood pressure, and so many different kind of bio sensing, bio feature on your body. So how we can use the textile as your second skin to get the data and send out to the backend. So this is the major function we are going to do for smart textile. So for this one, we call the body sensing network. All right, so how does it work? How smart you are? How you get it? Okay, so actually, when you look at the photo, you can see, okay, there are so many different wearable technology, different products in the market. Actually, smart textile, smart clothing is one of the wearable. So first of all, depends on who you are, who is the user, what kind of user we are going to apply for, and what kind of function we are going to take it out, and also go for different kind of environment. So we need to decide what kind of communication, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or others. Then we put the proper sensor into the clothing. So this is make the proper biosensing system. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about the market size. Okay, of course there are so many different market reports in the market. So, but most important is this a growing industry? Yes, it is. I think no matter how many market report, I think most important is that we figure out what is the increasing the growth rate in the market. Well, this report states from 2017 to 2027, the CAGR is about 24.4. So it's an increasing growth for sure. Then, what is the market? So today, later, I will explain, how we can apply the smart textile, smart clothing to our business. So here you can see in the coming 10 years, I think sports and fitness is still the #1 in the market, no matter from 2019 or to the later 2027. So sports and fitness is still the main market. Then for healthcare, of course, healthcare is a different kind of label, but healthcare is also very important. I think not only for these two, there are still few major segments for smart textile application. I will explain it later. Then the second part, market segments for smart clothing application. Okay, so I also would like to share, some actually this is a more actual and actual application now in my company in the past 10 years. Of course, there are still so many applications, but let's talk about what is the real application in the market already. Of course, it has been tested from many trials. even some failed, but doesn't matter. Let's go for the focus to find out what is the most with a high possibility to get it successful. Okay, still. So when we look at this kind of this chart, still refer to the previous chart. The sport and fitness is still the number one. Okay, but even for sport fitness, there are still different kind of labels. So let me put on three labels. So elite athlete still the highest one. But of course, the quantity is not that big. But it will be the very good product to assemble the highest level technology to do that. Then the team sport is even much easier to go for the market with some quantity, okay? Then, of course, we still have some fitness and some gym. That is even more popular. Then another very important segment is healthcare. So from fundamental healthcare up to the medical, still different kind of label. But today, we just also try to find what is the major application for healthcare industry in the market. I can explain it later as well. Then the last one is entertainment. So actually, we are not only saying entertainment. It's most likely more related to the lifestyle, okay? But the entertainment, you can go for lifestyle to some, some even, today we're talking about a lot of AR, VR, talk about the metaverse in the future. So this is something we're going to talk later. All right, here, ecosystem. This is a very special, okay, I mean, for the traditional the industry, we never heard about ecosystem before. But why it is here now? Because when we talk about smart textiles, smart clothing, it is impossible to just, okay, the clothing to cover everything. No, it is not. Just when you look at this one, clothing just be part of this kind of wearable. There are so many different kind of wearable. You have the watches, you have the band, so many different things. But the smart clothing is part of the tool for the wearable. Okay, not only for clothing, you still need the electronics. Of course, there are some interconnect system in the clothing. Furthermore, we also need the algorithm, the software. See, not only for hardware, you also need some software. Then you need apps, app, some UI interface between the product and the application. Then most important, we need the backend. So what I just want to mention is very difficult for single one company can carry everything. So that's also very important to find in different segmentation who are your ecosystem with you in this specific segment. All right, so in the next, I want to share some about our existing product we have. Bioman is one of the product for sport and fitness. This is in the market for more than 5 years, 6 years. So that's even more easy to go for that. You can see we applied a smart textile, smart module to get in here, just to go for just like a regular one. You won't see a lot of wire, a lot of power, I mean the battery, you won't see that. So everything integrates well in the clothing, which just like the regular one. Okay, so just as I say, we bring this kind of the bio features monitor from the sport fitness, go to another healthcare segment. So one of the very important application is called industrial safety. Okay. Just like I say, I think majorly for IQ product, we focused on human. So we take the human as the target we are going to take care. So for the people who work in the manufacture, also in the different kind of worker zone is also our target customer. Okay, so you have the we have the product, we have the hardware for clothing, we have the dongle in the electronic, we also the kind of the apps as well, but it's not okay yet, So how we can integrate this kind of front end data to go to the back end? We still need a system. So after actually 3 years, okay, actually we start from the material integration. We get a module, then we go for the clothing and also the textile product. Now we integrate more about the system. So how we can integrate this kind of data and with the proper the kind of the app, not apps, but the whole system integration to send to the backend. So what we call this BioCare system. Okay, and maybe a little bit more. Okay, okay. Now I'm going to another very important function. So in the previous pages, we talked about biomonitoring. However, there's another very important category is called the motion capture. This is also one of the your human. So not only your heart rate, not only your ECG, but how about your gastro? Okay, this is will relate to a lot of different kind of the function for the people to know what happened on your motion. So and in 2018, IQ is very lucky to find a very good partner. Sinestro, this is the UK-based company. Actually, before we met each other, they have a 25 years experience on the motion capture algorithm. So when we met in some big show in USA. So after communication, I think this is the right time. I mean, okay, the good chance for both of us because IQ is very strong on the smart clothing, smart textile. Development and also mass production. Plus, Taiwan is very prosperous for the electronics. Okay, and Sinestro, they had a very strong high-end motion capture algorithm. So so we combined and we had a JV company based on 2018. So this is one of the very important milestone for IQ to not only for biomonitoring. The category now, we also have additional motion capture item. Okay, let's go for the part 3. Now I'm going, okay, after I explain about who we are, what is the technology for smart textiles, smart clothing, okay, of course, I want to talk about, so what is the market restraint and how we can work it out, the solution. Okay. Actually, smart textiles, smart clothing, it's not new. It's not really new. Actually, it started more than 20 years ago. But of course, back to 20 years ago, a lot of the technology like Bluetooth 4.0, and also the infrastructure for the kind of communication is that was not ready yet. For example, no 4G, no 5G. Okay, so back to 20 years ago, a lot of technology totally not ready yet. Okay, not only for that. Okay, but that's the some criteria before. But the main market restraint, okay, for us to move for the mass production and also for the major market is the first one is the scalability and also the industrialization is not really ready, okay? Because this is a totally new product, new industry. It not only for textile only, not only for electronic only. That's the more than just 2 industry, probably across 3 or 4. Okay, you also need the telecom. We also have a lot of things. So it's the multiple technology to come together. Okay, so this is still new, even today, even 20 years, because this kind of the market is not really that big. Okay, however, this is the way we are going to do that. I will explain about this how we can work it out. So because the scale, the market size, and also the lack of the mature of some technology, so high product cost leading to the limited consumer acceptance for the market. So see, this is the number 1, okay? Because the market, the product, the industry not ready, but it's on the way to go. All right. So not only for the cost issue, now the relative regulation even is another issue. Okay, because this is not only textile, this is not only for electronics, and also some regulation for, for something. Okay, so it's across different industries. So the regulation is not really ready yet. Okay, then in the same situation for industrialization standard. So this is on the way, and actually my company and myself is also one of the committee of the Taiwan standard for the smart textile. Okay. and also the business model. It's totally different, the business model, compared with the previous traditional channel and the business. All right, so the last part, benefit for the application from smart textile. Okay, so how we can make the business successful? What is the key successful for that? Okay, because just said the pain point in the last page. So how we can make it more application and more market, more orders, we can say so. So deep integration across the industry. So the ecosystem, we had to do that. Then sensor fusion. It's not only one function or two functions. Every day had more technology here. So yeah, how we can bring this kind of new technology with the smart textile together. Okay, we told the sensor fusion. So we needed more sensor fusion to give more possibility to go for that. And then the next one, precision and marketing. Because this is the new one, new product, new application, new market. So we must know who is the major user, who is, what they need, what is the unmet demands. So if we know who they are, and this is what they really need, so work it out. So we don't waste time, we don't waste the money, find who is the right product to go for the right customer, okay? Then finally is we need a very high innovation from material to the business model. This is new, don't follow the old one, okay? So everything must be with a new concept, a new way to do. Then future goal and expectation, okay? Based on what we have, in the past 20 years, based on that kind of problem and, that kind of the pain point that we have met. So now we know the business is coming because the new trend, the new technology come every day. So first of all, strengthen the business ecosystem network. Yeah, make it to be aware, invite more partners from ecosystem to join the business. Then we can explore the more business in the market, okay? Then continuity, sustainable new development, okay? Every day, new technology, every day. Now we talk about AR, VR, we talk about the metaverse. Yes, we don't think they are too far, no. Future is now, so we need to catch up, so we need even more development for technology. So most important, I think the key of the key for the expectation for the target, the target for smart coating to go is we have to make our product comfortable, washable, reliable, affordable, and also a little bit more fashionable. So we have to put this 5 major factors as our target to go. Then we can have the sustainable new technology development. Furthermore is further engagement with the future trend. Yeah, we are happy to be this is 2022. So we need to move for the new. So happy to join the mission to change the world by using the smart textile technology to go with the future trend in the next era. Okay, my last page today. This some good saying. If you can weave the sensor into a textile, as the material, you are moving away from the electronics. You are making the basic materials of the world around us interactive. So we are moving for the future of fashion, okay? So this is the pretty much good goal for us to do that. We are happy to be part of the, this kind of new technology change, okay? So I think just use our technology, use our partners, use our, the goodwill to move for the next generation of the fashion. Okay, this is my sharing today. If any question, you can reach us. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia, for sharing. Next, I would like to invite Jasmine Wu, Project Manager of Taiwan External Trade Development Council, as known as TAITRA, to share with us Taiwan Trade Show 2022, Smart Sport and Textile Industry. Welcome, Jasmine.
Hello everyone, this is Jasmine from TAITRA. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude by saying thank you to all of you that joined us today, and special thanks to the previous industry players that shared the insights with us. Today, my presentation is going to be conducted in 3 parts. The first is the global sporting goods trends and the forecast, followed by the current status and the future development of the sporting goods industry in Taiwan. And last, I would like to introduce the relevant sporting goods show events that we have here in Taiwan. In 2022, the global sporting goods forecast, according to the report conducted by McKinsey and WFSGI, the industry is still growing and in approximately 14%. 3 trends are leading the industry development: digital leap, e-commerce, and sustainability. In the past 2 years, the way we consume, the way we work, the way we exercise, basically the way we live has changed dramatically. We can see that a lot of, some habits stay, and that's why, according to the research, 70 to 85% of the consumers are continue to use the digital or online fitness and wellness equipment in the future. And that's we're looking forward to seeing more digital cooperated device in the market. Secondly, we can also see that the use of social media and the influence of key opinion leaders have surged the formulation of e-commerce. We can see that over 85% of the consumers will continue to use online channels to search for products the next time they buy something. The last one is sustainability. People have come to realize the decisions we make actually make a great difference and actually have a direct connection with the world we leave for the next generation. Therefore, sustainability is going to be one of the key factors when we buy products in the future. And that's why the government and the corporations must do more and take more action to ensure sustainable options are available. Apart from the 3 trends that I mentioned earlier, there's one other thing that we cannot neglect: the rise of smart sport market. According to the Grandview research, the global smart sport market will surge triple to 36.2 billion in 2028. And especially after 2022, the Olympic Games, we see the great integration of technology and sport. This market is thriving. Back to Taiwan, let's take a look at the performance of Taiwan's sporting goods industry. In 2021, the export value has gone up to 58%, accounting for $3.79 billion US dollars, and in 2020 it was $2.4 billion. And the top 5 countries for sporting goods exports are the United States of America, China, England, Japan, and Germany. What about the smart technology in sports and textile industry in Taiwan? Well, in Taiwan, we have a Taiwan Smart Textile Association, TSTA. It was founded in 2018, and now they have over 56 members in different industries, including the raw material industry, including the ICT industry, and also in the textile industry. So it's really an alliance that trying to put things together for smart textile. And the government has launched a 5-year program hoping to realize the vision of sports everywhere by 2030. 4 measures will be conducted. The first is to enhance sporting infrastructures. Within the next 5 years, we will have 3 international smart stadiums and 15 arenas. Also, the government is trying to bridge sport industry and the technology industry. And with the help of the governments, academia, and the industry, we're hoping to cultivate more talent and bring more substance to the industry development. Next is the implement of digital governance. Now we have the infrastructure, the equipment, and the software assistance. Now it is next job to build a really comprehensive platform to store the data, to manage the data, and to make sure that data is used and applied in a more applicable way. So the government will try their best to implement digital governance. Now we have all the 3 previous strategy applied. The last is to build a sport tech ecosystem. Now we're looking at a total transformation in both industry and to the consumers, also to the corporations and the governments. Hopefully in 2020, in the near future, Taiwan is going to be a sport tech hub in the South Pacific Asia region. Next, I would like to talk about the relevant trade shows we have in Taiwan. TAISPO, originally called Taipei International Sporting Goods Show, has now changed its addition to Sport and Fitness Taiwan to comply and to cope with the current trends. It'll be held in March 22nd to 25th in 2013 at TAINEX. It is with the most comprehensive show content at the best networking area, and it is located at the high-quality manufacturing hub in Asia in Taipei. We believe that a trade show is not just a platform to sell products. It should be a realization or a presentation of a lifestyle, a way of living. So TAISPO is actually your export. If you think of anything sport-related, TAISPO. If you want to look for a product, come to TAISPO. If you want to share an idea within the industry, within the sporting industry, come to TAISPO. So 3 guidelines are planned under this vision: fitness lifestyle, sustainable life, and sport tech. Well, these guidelines will be displayed at the exhibit area of indoor fitness, outdoor sports, water sports, sports and fashion, sport marketing, service, and program. And as I mentioned earlier, the TSCA will also have a pavilion at the sport and fashion exhibit zone. Apart from the previous exhibit area that I just mentioned, we believe that the idea of being fit or fitness is not restricted to a certain age or a certain group. In fact, children and the elders we should put more emphasis on the fitness of children and the elders. That's why we have the all-age fitness zone. This theme zone is accumulation of all the products related to children's fitness and the elders' healthcare. The last theme zone is our sport tech zone. We're going to work closely together with the government to showcase the latest innovation of the sport technology. Also, we welcome all sport tech related companies to join us at this zone. Apart from the products, we also have a series of show events that will bring you the latest information and that would help you to engage a lot more in the sport goods industry. The first is the industry forum. We're going to invite key industry players to share their valuable opinions about the industry development. And the second, we value all the visitors' experience, and that's why we prepare an outdoor area just outside the showground. It's called Outdoor Taipei, where you can have a meeting under the tent, where you can go for a ride. It's a true realization of what an outdoor lifestyle will be like, and we welcome all of you to join that area. Next is NPC Worldwide. It's called National Physique Committee, and this competition is organized by Fitness Factories, one of the biggest gym groups here in Taiwan. And the show is going to be held, the competition is going to be held concurrently with the show on the last day, which is March 25th. And this competition will draw over 2,000 sports enthusiasts to join. So together, TAISPO and NPC Worldwide together will be the one and only international professional trade shows that are concurrently held with professional competitions. Next, IAPS. IAPS is Industry of Accelerators and Patent Strategy Group. It's a tech-oriented and a university-affiliated organization. It's a startup accelerator that has helped and worked with over 1,000 startups. And next year, TAISPO is going to show and present the latest industry innovations. Last, we're going to have a pavilion that's working closely with the governments to present the realization and the latest government policy of sports everywhere, the government program that I just mentioned. So here we can see some footages of this year's show. You see the outdoor area, we have tents, and then the industry forum, and we also have fitness class at the stadium where you can actually join the class and exercise. Apart from Thai Sport, we have two other sport and textile related international trade shows. The first is Taipei Cycle. It's going to be held concurrently with Thai Sport on March 22nd to 25th, 2023. So these two shows together, we gather over 1,000 exhibitors. It's going to be one of the best and most comprehensive sporting goods shows with complete supply chain display. On the second half of the year, we also have another textile-related show called Titas. It's going to be held on October 17th to 19th, 2023. To sum up, we believe that Taiwan is now having the thriving market with massive sports and textile demands, and we have many international events with strong leverage across different sectors. So we welcome all of you to join us sometime next year, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jasmine, for sharing. I'm very grateful to everyone online for participating with us until now. Thanks to all the speakers for your wisdom with us. In recent years, the popularity of sport around the world have driven the market for fitness equipment, wearable products, and virtual coaching have become the norm. Data is the key factor in exercise. We see Johnson Technology launch various fitness equipment like fitness mirror or interactive treadmills to allow more people to enjoy their daily training assisted by tech. Wondersize mentioned that many gym or sports events were suspended or closed during the COVID. People who love sports must rely on other methods for self-training to maintain their physical situations, thus driving the sales of fitness solutions. The integration combines sport, technology, and textile across in different domains and industry have become the key to success in the future. Nadia mentioned that Taiwan textile industry have strong R&D capability and its manufacturing strength has always been leading in the world. It not only plays a key role in the global supply chain, but is also an important partner of the world-renowned sport brands such as Nike and Adidas. Continuing this advantage, the industry is optimistic that Taiwan textile industry will become a key supply chain for smart clothing. Large domestic textile factories are actively deploying and turning to high-tech industry with both wisdom and environmental protection, going global and further leading the world trend. Finally, the 2023 Sport and Fitness Taiwan will exhibit it from March 22nd to March 25th at Taipei Nangang Exhibition Center Hall 2. The exhibition will also present the most comprehensive sports, fitness, and outdoor leisure products. The only B2B sport industry exhibition and sales platform for fitness industry players to communicate cross-domain cooperation and market developments. We look forward to what new situation Thai Sport will open up for Taiwan industry. 2022 Connect to the Future Sport and Textile Industry Roadshow and successfully. See you next time.